Hi everyone, I'm Mark Rosenthal with you on this Thursday night. We have a major storm coming for a good chunk of southern New England with all kinds of weather. So much to talk about, so let's get right into it and check out the weather headline. Major storm is on the way with coastal flooding, power outages, heavy rains, 2 to 4 inches of rain, winds picking up in the northeast tomorrow, 35 to 75 miles an hour. Don't forget hurricane force is 74 miles an hour, and heavy rain will be going over to a heavy, wet, cement-like snow from northwest to southeast, reaching Boston after 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I do think there'll be plowable snow in and around the greater Boston area, and even though the worst of the snow is done early Saturday, it's going to be a windy and cool weekend. Now, watches and warnings as we look from the National Weather Service in gold. It's a wind advisory, Boston, Worcester, Cape Cod, Southern Connecticut, all of Rhode Island. I just don't understand how they split up in pink the winter storm warning or the winter storm watch. One blotch of blue, one blotch of pink. There's just no continuity, but we are looking at continuity. The hurricane force winds and that pink zone just offshore from Gloucester to Cape Cod. I'm very concerned about that. Now, the tide cycles go like this. For tomorrow, we have a high tide at 11:15. There could be flooding then. And the next high tide, 11:46 tomorrow night. Saturday's high tide is right afternoon, and early morning Sunday high tide just after midnight at 12:32. These could produce devastating flooding along the coast. Of course, we'll be around, and we'll keep you posted. All right, let's show you where the storm is right now. As we look at the latest satellite loop, a big blob of moisture spitting back in the Great Lakes is going to be diving towards the southeast, redeveloping low pressure off the Delmarva Peninsula late tonight and tomorrow morning. That storm's going to explode in the ocean south of New England, and that's our problem. Also notice that storm in the Gulf of Alaska. That could be our next storm late next week. But first things first, as we look at radar, you see heavy rain now coming in through much of New York State and Pennsylvania. On the backside of the storm, it's snowing out through Michigan and a portion of the Great Lakes. Thunderstorms developing now in western and southwestern not California, but North Carolina. That's indicative of lots of energy in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So as we jump ahead to 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, we see that developing gale center south of Cape Cod. And normally you'd say, okay, great, Mark, this is going to move off to the northeast, and it's out of here around midday. Well, not so fast, because at 1 o'clock, it's going nowhere to hurry, because it's getting captured in the upper levels of the atmosphere, 500 millibars, 18,000 feet. It's closing off. It's being captured, going nowhere, spitting heavy rain into Boston with hurricane force winds. Heavy wet snow by 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon is moving into central and western Massachusetts, portions of New York State and Pennsylvania, just getting hammered with a heavy, wet, cement-like blizzard. Now, as we jump ahead to 8 o'clock tomorrow night, the low is actually drifting southeast, pinwheeling in heavy, wet snow to the greater Boston area with hurricane force winds, temperatures falling from low 40s of the daylight to about freezing at night. It's going to be a real nightmare to be driving tomorrow night. Heavy rain on the Cape goes to heavy, wet snow all the way down to Providence, Quonset Point, and New York City. How much snow are we talking about? It takes a brave man to make a snowfall forecast in this kind of a situation. And that's why we're giving the range. I'm thinking at least 4 inches in Boston, maybe 8. So 4 to 8 in that pink zone, 3 to 6 in the Cape. Once you get out to Worcester County, the Berkshire is 6 to 12 inches plus. That's what we are going with right now. So the forecast goes like this overnight. Clouding up, increasing winds, rain developing late, temperatures will be in the lower 40s. Here's your 5-day forecast starting, when the days disappear. I know I'm having graphic problems because, of course, I am. There's a full moon. What else do you want? So just fill in the days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we have rain going to snow tomorrow. It's windy with falling temperatures. Snow will end on Saturday. The sun's back Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We might have another storm. Only this could happen to me. Let me come back on camera and share my grief with you. Only this can happen to me. I work hours on graphics, and of course it has to fall apart because of the full moon. This is not operator error, except for what you see on camera. That's an error. Okay. Seriously, that's my forecast. If you're driving in your car and you want to hear more weather information, please turn on Easy 99.1 FM WPLM. But we'll be here throughout the night and out the day tomorrow with another exciting Weatherblast update. I'm Mark Rosenthal. It has to be martini time somewhere, doesn't it?